He lives like a king, acts like a bigwig. But Mr. Bigwig wigged out when he saw me and my cameraman. This is Jeff.
Hey, where you going, Jeff? I need to talk to you, man.
See Jeff run.
Where you going, Jeff?
See Jeff run up huge bills. See Jeff run off with people's money. See Jeff run up a bunch of lawsuits. Now Jeff's just running.
Why don't you talk to me, man?
Into the Hall of Shame.
Running with the devil. I'll tell you all about it.
Jeff Hartman claims to be a big-time real estate guy. He sure lives in a big-time neighborhood, million-dollar houses and lakefront property. That's where JoJo the landscaper met Jeff Hartman. Last June, JoJo and her crew were doing some landscaping work when all of a sudden a fancy Maserati pulled up. Jeff Hartman was behind the wheel. He asked JoJo if she could do some work at his house down the street. JoJo wrote up a proposal for Jeff. He sure seemed like he had the money.
Beautiful home, Corvette in the garage, Harley Davidson.
Jeff okayed the work and gave JoJo a down payment check. Here's the work she and her crew did. Here's the check Jeff gave her. Yeah, he stopped payment on it. At first, Jeff told JoJo it was a misunderstanding with his bank. But after dozens of calls, JoJo still didn't get a payment.
He just had every excuse. It was one after another why he wouldn't pay.
JoJo filed a police report. Suddenly, Jeff came up with a payment, but he still owed her close to $2 grand more. So JoJo filed a small claims lawsuit against Jeff Hartman and was shocked at what the court clerk told her.
We don't want to discourage you, but there's a lot of people and contractors that are after him for money also.
Take a look. These are all lawsuits against Jeff Hartman. Seems Jeff doesn't like to pay anybody.
He is what we describe in our business a credit criminal.
This man is a private investigator for a collection agency that's had dealings with Hartman. He says it doesn't matter if Jeff Hartman loses a bunch of lawsuits because Jeff Hartman doesn't have any assets in his name. The $1 million house, the cars, on paper, they belong to somebody else. Jeff plays rich guy when he's buying and poor guy when he's paying.
This man deliberately pursues people and tries to take advantage and intimidate and get what he can for free.
Just like he did to JoJo. Remember how Jeff approached JoJo on his multi-million-dollar street? Well, check this out. It's a court document I dug up on Jiffy Jeff. It's a lawsuit from a company called Joshua's Tree Service. It says Mitch was doing a job on the same street Mr. Hartman lived on. He drove by and stopped, asked Mitch for an estimate. He okayed the work for us to do. Jeff didn't pay, and that company ended up suing Jeff too. Jeff doesn't pay for his fancy club memberships. Jeff doesn't pay his income tax. He owes a locksmith, a fence company, a leasing company, a rug place, a department store. Jeff Hartman apparently even had someone clean his house and stiffed them. Last month was JoJo the landscaper's court date with Jeff. JoJo was there, I was there, hoping to meet Mr. Hartman, but he didn't show. JoJo got a default judgment and joined the club.
What I'm trying to do is stick with it because I think this guy needs to be stopped no matter what.
People have been trying to stop him. I found out he was busted for writing a check on a closed bank account years ago. Pled no contest, but that didn't stop him. And in fact, even Fox 2 tried to stop him in 2002. I dug up this old story by our reporter Ron Savage. Back then, Jeff Hartman was running a company called Metro Properties. Stephanie Love, a church pastor, said Jeff took a deposit on this house from her and then sold it to someone else. Here's Ron and Stephanie.
Just took me for $3,400.
You want your money back?
I'd like my money back, and I'd never want this to happen to anybody.
Ron Savage never caught up to Jeff Hartman, but the feds did in 2005. Jeff Hartman pleaded guilty to laundering of monetary instruments. Spent a year in federal prison. Now he's got an office in Southfield. Jeff still thinks he's special. Always parks where he's not supposed to. Likes the firelight. He gets tickets, but I'm just gonna guess he's not the best at paying them. Time for me to have a heart-to-heart with Hartman.
Hey, Jeff, Rob Wolchek, Fox 2. Hey, where you going, Jeff? I need to talk to you, man. Where you going, Jeff? Hey, Jeff, I want to ask you about this landscaping place. Where are you going, man? Why aren't you talking to me? Yeah, they got a judgment against you.
Yeah, well, being taken care of.
Where are you going, Jeff? Why are you running away from me?
It's being taken care of.
It says not been taken care of. Why do you have so many judgments against you, Jeff? Why don't you talk to me, man? No, you don't. You won't, man. I know what kind of guy you are. Why don't you talk to me? You're crazy, dude. Why are you running away like that?
I try to cut Jeff off at the pass and wait by his car. Yep, there it is in the fire lane. Certainly Jeff's man enough to come out eventually. Nope, his lawyer moves his vehicle and Jeff sneaks out back to the $1 million house he calls home. The house none of the people he owes money to can take from him. So just whose name is on Jeff Hartman's house? According to county records, this guy. Who is he? A guy convicted of manufacturing marijuana plants. I'd love to talk to him, but he's a probation absconder. In other words, not even the cops know where he is.
Jeff, you've had a great run, but I got a feeling after this story, people may be running from you. You're in the Hall of Shame.
Baby, we were forced to run.
Jeff Hartman called the station several times after I tried to talk to him outside his office, begging us not to run the story. His lawyer called and told us he had the money for JoJo the landscaper, and one of her workers did pick up the money. So JoJo's been paid. Thanks, Jeff. For once, you did the right thing. Too bad you still owe so many other people so much money.